Hey, Curlfriend! Oh my gosh, it's Friday again. I'm gonna go ahead and wait, as per usual, to see who's gonna show up in the curl chat. Of course, we haven't actually been here in a while. It's been like, I want to say like a week or so since I was last on live. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that we are actually able to leave chat comments because I think on my side it's saying something that like the video is private. No, the video is not private. So I don't know. That's weird. But you should be able to leave comments if you wanted to leave comments. And yeah, how was your week, girlfriend? I feel like this is one of those weeks where like something was in the water. Like something was definitely in the water because it was just craziness at work. I spoke to other people and it seems like it wasn't crazy. It was just as crazy rather for them too at work. So I know that it's not like literally just me. But if you are logging on to today's live stream video, this is of course for you, girlfriend. If you've got fine natural hair, then Fine Natural Hair Rocks is absolutely for you. And today's topic is do this to get longer fine natural hair faster. Now, girlfriends, it's no secret. It literally took me like literally 10 to 11 years to get the length that I'm enjoying now. And it's because the information that's out there just doesn't necessarily apply to fine strands. Girlfriend, if you're in the chat, let me know you're here. I'd love to know who was able to pop into the Curlfriend crew chat today. But yeah, it took a really long time for me to figure out what my hair really needed. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Lavinia Latham and I am the founder and creator of Fine Natural Hair Rocks. And some good updated news for you. You're actually the first one to hear it if you're right here right now. But Fine Natural Hair Rocks is incorporated as of today. Yes, girlfriend, we are incorporated. We are a whole company now. So that doesn't really change much for you and I in the sense of like, what's to come on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, but it absolutely changes a lot in terms of the legal structure. And for those of you who don't know, I am a lawyer as well. And so for that reason, I can't be out here not doing things that are not in alignment with the law or that don't make sense legally. So yeah, I don't know if the YouTube, if the comment section is working. I hope that it is because I'm not actually seeing anything, which is so bizarre. Let's see. Let's see what's happening on my end. I see what's happening. Okay, let's go ahead and make this public and then I can see it because I think comments are coming through. It's just I can't actually see it on my end, unfortunately. There we go. What's up? Okay. Hi, Carl. Hi, Mahumza. Notification gang, gang. Nadoom, Teresa Williams. What's up, 154 Angel 154? Love it. Hi, Mary. Yes, it is absolutely awesome that we are finally incorporated. I mean, this is something that I wanted to do from since last year. And, I'm a human rights lawyer, I'm not a business lawyer. And so law is very complex. In Canada, we're all licensed to practice any type of law we want to once you're licensed in a Canadian province. I'm licensed in Ontario. But the law is so complex that you really don't want to just be dibble dabbling in any old area of law. And so for me, I've largely practiced in the areas of like litigation. So like I've been done criminal law. Now I'm doing human rights law. At one point, I was doing family law, estates law. I was doing everything but business. And so, girlfriend, to be honest, I was scared, right? I was scared that I was going to mess it up. But here we are, and we are incorporated as of today. So let's hop on into the whole purpose of today's live. Today's live is all about doing certain things, like really honing in on what's going to grow your fine natural hair, what's really going to help your hair flourish, right? And so, really, the main bit, the first tip that I have for you is to embrace frizz. So much of what we see in the global natural hair space, so like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, right? We see a lot of people who are like really working very hard to define the curls. Like it's all about curl definition. And if you've got a ton of density, you've got super thick strands, then yes, defining curls might be for you. But the truth of the matter is that defining curls is actually, number one, highly manipulative on the strands. And number two, it doesn't really work for fine strands. Like, you've got fine strands and you're really trying to take advantage of a look that is aesthetically more thicker, more pleasing to the eye as it relates to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you're really going to want to lean into frizz. Happy Friday, Florizella. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Happy Friday from Michigan. Woo, look at us. We're all the way here from Michigan. Girl, we are neighbors. You already know Toronto's right there. But yeah, and so, aesthetically, when you have frizz, that's going to help your hair appear more thicker. But secondary to that, actually, I think more primary to that, is the fact that if you're embracing your frizz, it means that naturally you're not manipulating your hair as much as often as you would if you're like trying to define it, trying to get it to do things that it's not supposed to do. And so by virtue of embracing that frizz, you're naturally going to start retaining more of your length, more of your thickness, and your hair not only is going to look thicker, it's actually going to start, being and acting thicker as well too. And that's one of the things that I noticed right off the top, right off the bat, when I started really leaning into my hair care from a fine natural hair based perspective, as opposed to just like following whatever natural hair advice and whatever natural hair stuff I found across the internet. The second bit that really changed things for me, and it took forever for me to do this, and for those of you curl friends who've been here from the jump, you probably know what I'm going to say next, which is get a blunt cut. Honestly, I can't emphasize this enough. I mean, if you've got shorter strands, say you're, teeny weeny afro stage, or say you're at the neck length stage, or you're at the shoulder length stage, those are stages where you will really benefit from a blunt cut. If you're above ear length or at like above neck length rather, you can kind of get away a little bit more with this because your hair is already close to your scalp, so you're probably in the beautiful halo stage of your fro, right? But if you have longer hair that's touching your shoulders or below, it's really going to assist you to get that blunt cut. Now, there is strength in numbers. So fine strands by themselves, they're wispy, they go all over the place. You can see my fine strands doing what they do best right now, which is just literally wisping all over the place, right? But when you have your hair all the same length, there is literally strength in numbers. So right now, I'm actually on the last legs of my silk press. I did get a silk press. Thank you so much for those of you who are commenting on it in the community post. I think I got back to everybody. But yes, thank you so much for your lovely comments. The style only lasted the day, unfortunately, just because there was a lot of rain in Toronto. It was very humid. There was like smoke in the air from forest fires and stuff like that, which ask me how you can have smoke in the air from forest fires and rain at the same time. Don't know, but here we are. So yeah, it really did a number on my strands. And so because I do have this blunt cut, which I'm going to show you right now, I don't know how much of it you can actually see just because, again, like the ends, I've gone to the gym, I've done a whole bunch of things, but it really does give strength in numbers. Even as my strands are starting to revert, there's strength in numbers. Now, the way this is right now, Curlfriend, I would never comb through this. That's crazy. I would absolutely never comb through this. The only thing you can do, and this is a bonus tip, I guess, the only thing you can do once you're at this stage of a blowout is to put your hair underwater and just rinse it all out. Rinse it out, wash it out, do a full wash day, deep conditioning treatment, all that good stuff, because any combs going through this is absolutely 100% going to cause breakage. Hi, Patricia Jenkins. Welcome, welcome. And welcome to anyone who is here and watching Fine Natural Hair Rocks but is unable to actually engage in the curl chat. I see you, I love you, and I really do appreciate your support and your time here today, this afternoon, at least Eastern Standard Time, or this evening now. The third bit that I really pushed back against in my own journey, because for me, like, I'm a lawyer, it just didn't logically make sense. I did not understand how cutting the hair is going to make the hair grow longer. It just didn't make sense, right? But once I started doing it, Curlfriend, it really made the world of a difference. Like, get your trims. I'm not saying do trims like on a biblical type schedule. That's not making sense. But I do recommend, at least at first, to really create a regular trim schedule for yourself. So maybe you're going and you're getting your trims done every 3 months. Maybe you're doing your trims every 4 months. For me, I did play around with it a bit to see like, can I, stretch this with really good healthy hair practices? Can I avoid it altogether? There were some naturals back in the day. Shout outs to the owner of Love Naturals. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, definitely let me know in the curl chat. But she is the godmother of natural hair on YouTube. She was so helpful to my journey back in the day. I don't think she was marketing or calling herself a fine natural, but the way her hair operates, absolutely, I would say she's on the finer side of things. Again, the name of her company, her hair care company anyways, is called Love Naturals. But that being said, yeah, the blunt cut made a huge difference. The trims made a huge difference. It just changed the whole trajectory of my hair. Like, it looked better, it feels better, it's growing properly, all of those things. Kimmy Tube, yes, Mahumza, thank you so much. I knew somebody would know. Yeah, she was amazing. This is somebody who really started, I would say, because I'm all about giving credit where credit's due. She was the one who started talking about, low manipulation, maybe recycling your parts to avoid breakage in the hair. She was the one who started talking about, really engaging in the same styles that, work for yourself over and over and over again. And so that advice was good, but the whole point of Fine Natural Hair Rocks and the point of, us engaging in these conversations is getting everyone to learn the differences with their own heads of hair. So for me personally, I did try the whole recycling parts thing. It doesn't work. What I noticed was that, the hair started parting naturally in those areas, but then it also felt like certain areas were looking a little bit more sparse than others because the hair would just naturally part like that. And that wasn't something that I necessarily wanted. So to avoid that, moving parts around every so often can prevent your hair from like splitting in the same section all the time, and then thus, sometimes even getting wider and wider and wider, which is a symptom of just over manipulation. Now you're starting to experience breakage and that manipulation in the exact same spot over and over and over again. The other tip that is really going to give you thicker hair faster is to combine your protective styles with low manipulation styling. So, oftentimes, in the natural hair community, we hear about either or. Like, you do protective styling or you do low manipulation styling. It's very rare that you hear about doing both. Now, doing both to me is a fine natural hair perspective. That's a fine natural hair approach to your natural hair care journey, because you are really doing everything you can to preserve those fragile, delicate strands. And so by doing everything you can, you're kind of doubling up on those good hair care practices that are going to take your hair to the next level. And it's going to be an intentional next level, because naturally by itself, fine strands just break off like no other, right? And so when I'm talking about protective styles that are low manipulation in nature, you could do the box braids. If you've noticed, I will do a pair of box braids, but I'm never going to do small box braids. That's done, not happening. It's just far too much manipulation. So to make that protective style more low manipulation in nature, maybe opt for medium size braids, or maybe opt for large size braids, medium size parts, large size parts. You see, there's kind of like a trend here, right? So you're reducing how many parts you need, you're reducing how much, detangling and how much braiding you need. And by reducing those things, you're giving your hair optimal opportunity to grow as thick as possible and to avoid the unnecessary breakage. The other thing that I would say, if you can avoid adding hairs to the hair, absolutely do that. Because the thing is, what I've noticed, it took me a very long time to realize that adding hair to my fine strands was a big part of the reason of why it was thinning. So while there are a lot of naturals, most naturals benefit from a good set of box braids. You slap it in, you keep it around for maybe 2-3 months, and you're good to go. You've got growth. But for us fine stranded naturals, that could actually lead to breakage. If you've got the hair and it's growing out and it's just kind of hanging on for its dear life on these little strands, it's gonna pull out, it's gonna break out off, right? And so that's the reason why when it comes to fine strands and adding hair to your own hair, you don't want to be keeping it on your strands for any more than a month, maybe 6 weeks max. And I subscribe to that like it's it's the rule. It's the letter of the law as it comes to hair. Like, I will not leave any protective style in my hair, any added hair in my hair beyond 6 weeks. Like, that's just the absolute no more. Patricia Jenkins, what about two-strand twists? Should they be medium size? Yes, I would absolutely recommend that two-strand twists should be medium size. Now, I have seen some naturals. There's a natural out there. I don't know, I'm forgetting everybody's name right now, but she's amazing. She's always doing two-strand twists, and she actually does mini twists too. And so for her, it seems to be working. For me, that takedown process is just far too dangerous. It's scary. Like, I feel like just thinking about taking down mini twists is like all of my hair's on the floor, right? Like, it's dangerous. And so I wouldn't recommend anything that is very difficult to take out of your hair, because you have to take into account the fact that your protective style is going to be low manipulation coming in. It's going to be a little bit more manipulation taking out, because now you're dealing with frizz, you're dealing with buildup, you're dealing with, maybe your takedown method is causing tangles, all those kinds of things. So to add that on to like really fine twists, for my hair type, I personally wouldn't do it. Now, there are some fine naturals who've got looser curls, looser textures, and they can get away with it. But if you've got highly coily, highly kinky, highly textured hair, something similar to my own, it's not going to work. Like, it will look good and you'll get it in. But for the purposes of the protective style, for the purposes of thickening up the hair, that's going to have an opposite impact. Drink soy milk 007. Yes, drink some soy milk. It's good for you. Sorry, I had to yell. I'm a nerd. Exactly. Extensions are fake news for my hair. Yes, that's the thing. Like, extensions are gorgeous. Like, I love extensions, but I can't wear them. It's one of those things that, like, if I'm going to be wearing extensions, I have to know that we're not lying to ourselves here. That style is not going to help with length retention. For me, I know at this point that if I want length, it has to be a wig. That's it. It just has to be a wig. That's how I grew my hair to where it is right now. When I'm not in my wigs, I'm in a low manipulation natural hairstyle. So a lot of the times, right here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks, I'm hearing weird sounds downstairs. Sorry. You'll see me with like my hair all up in a little puff. Super cute. Maybe you'll see it in a low puff, but all these intricate hairstyles I don't really mess with, because again, that's additional manipulation. That additional manipulation will absolutely cause breakage. Mahamza, that is the truth. Adding extensions is a killer. Leaving those out has helped my hair fake thickness successfully. I love the way you said that. You're so funny. You and drink soy milk. Fake news for hair. We've got fake thickness successfully. But you know what? It's true. Like, that's the thing. There's nothing we can do, at least chemically. Look, I've been doing my research, right? The closest thing I've seen to like thickening up the strands is fenugreek. And so far, Soultanicals does a really good job with their deep conditioners of creating. There's one bat there actually. It's like a fenugreek slide and go deep conditioner. Only problem is they don't carry it all the time, right? Like, it's one of the specialty deep conditioners. But anyways, if you can get your hands on it when it is out, I have noticed a difference. I will say I have noticed a difference. Sometimes it's hard to tell what the difference is coming from, because I do have a tendency to switch deep conditioners. But I have noticed that like the strands have a little bit of more oomph to them after using the fenugreek deep conditioners. So, as we start to formulate and research and look for the ingredients for our Fine Natural Hair Care product line, it is absolutely going to have agents in it that are thickening, but, there's still a lot of slip, because we need both of them, right? We need the thickening agents, and then we also need that slip so that our curls are not just, breaking off on each other. Teresa Williams, my hair tangles too easily. Yeah, absolutely. My hair tangles very easily as well too. Like, I don't comb my hair. That's another bonus. Like, tip, like combing the hair very often. I have family members, we used to think that it was okay to comb the hair as often as you wanted to comb it, to style it, or, maybe to increase circulation on the scalp, which it can do. But if the benefits of circulation on the scalp from brushing the hair is not greater than the consequence of breakage, then you probably don't want to be, brushing your hair unnecessarily or combing your hair unnecessarily, right? Because like you said, the hair tangles so easily, right, Teresa? So that's just one of those other bonus things that it's like if you're looking for longer fine natural hair, and with longness you want the thickness too. So you'll hear me talk about both kind of interchangeably, because what I've noticed, I have been at the stage where my hair was long but it was very thin and it wasn't giving me the aesthetic that I wanted, and I didn't feel comfortable with it because again it was very thin. Now today, as of today's date, it's thin, it's longer, but it's also thicker too. So it's easier aesthetically to achieve the looks that I'm trying to achieve, and it's because of these tips. Florizilla, mini tips do not work for me. Yeah, it doesn't. You know what? If there's a Curlfriend in the curl chat, please let me know if it works for you. I'd love to know. And if it does work for you, I'd also love to know if you've got like a kinkier, coilier, curlier texture, or if your strands are looser in nature, because I really do think that that makes a difference. Mums is, I love the curl chat. Nadoom, Curl Code Black seems to make mini twists work for her. So I haven't seen Curl Code Black's YouTube channel. I'm definitely gonna check that out tonight. There's a lot of free time this weekend because it is the long weekend. I'm so excited for it. It's a dual long weekend, so we don't get these often. But in Canada, it's Canada Day, and in the US, it's also 4th of July coming up too. So it's like a double long weekend on both sides of the border. So for my Americans in the curl chat, you already know. For my Canadians in the curl chat, you already know too that there's going to be a lot of time to be checking out the YouTube channels, reading, hanging out, whatevs, right? So it's really, really good. Hey, Sarah, Eureka. Do you suggest crochet hair for fine hair? You know what? I think it could work. So the last video that I posted, I was actually installing some goddess locks on my hair, and it could work depending on how you do it. So like you got to be really careful about that crochet needle, because if the tip opens, that sharpness of the open tip can definitely like catch up on the hair and then break it off, right? And so you got to make sure that when you're using the crochet needle, you're closing it and then you're pulling it on through. So I actually did leave I was actually pretty thorough, I think, in that video about how the crochet worked for me. I will be trying it again. I actually didn't end up wearing the style for long. Like I did actually end up taking it out because I don't know, once you go individual crochet locks, it's really, really hard to then go with like just the traditional, throw the crochet locks in and have like the cornrows thing, right? Like it wasn't working for me. But there are so many other crochet styles that we can do, and I think we can really benefit as fine naturals from it, especially if when you're installing your cornrows, you're not installing them in ways that are causing breakage. So you're making sure that whatever, products you're using, they have slip. You're making sure that when you're cornrowing your hair, you're not letting the tangles build up on the end and like splitting it apart, like just those kinds of things, because how much breakage you accrue while putting the styles in can definitely take away from the whole point of putting in a low manipulation protective style. So to answer that question, I do think crocheting can be a low manipulation protective style. Nadoom, fenugreek may work for others, but it's difficult to wash out for me. I'll try the Sultanicals conditioner instead, or some Zizyphus. I haven't heard of Zizyphus. That's really interesting. I'm going to check that out. Yes, there are some Ayurvedic ingredients that can absolutely be difficult to wash out. And that's another piece because, I mean, we're busy. We've got whole lives in front of us. We don't have time to be washing things out forever. You're rinsing, and like 2 minutes later, you're still rinsing. Like, it's too much, right? It's too much. And so while 2 minutes doesn't sound like a very long time, I feel like after a long natural hair wash day, 2 minutes is a very long time. Like when you're done, if you're anything like me, when you're done, you're done. So no, I totally get it, and I'm 100% with you on that. Mahamza, I learned something new every live chat. I've never seen the word Zizyphus. I love Fine Natural Hair Rocks. Oh, thank you, Mahamza. I really, really appreciate that. I haven't heard of Zizyphus either. Like, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Nadoom is out here teaching us something new. She says that she found out about Zizyphus from Henna Souk. Interesting. Yeah, you see, like, I'm learning from you. You're learning from me. This is so amazing. Crushing goals with caring. Henna Soup brand has a great fenugreek powder. So is that fenugreek powder like just natural? And I'm gonna go ahead and check that out too. But is it just the powder itself, or is it like actually like a product? Because I feel like what will benefit us, like you can get fenugreek powders from, you can get it from your local natural hair store. Of course, you can get it from Henna Soup as well. But if it's in like an actual product form, I feel like that will help us with some of the issues that we're having, namely, washing it out, is it clumping, that kind of a thing. A Curlfriend is interesting because, like, when we were talking about what ingredients we want in our natural hair care product to come, a girlfriend was saying that the fenugreek made her boobs get bigger. So I don't know. I've never heard of that one before, but maybe that's a side effect of it. I have no idea. But I really do think that the fenugreek is going to be good. And I'm happy to hear that there are more brands that are incorporating fenugreek into their formulations because it's really important, right? Crushing goals with Karen. Yes, the powder itself, not hard to wash out. Awesome. Perfect, perfect. I love that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a look at that because I really think that fenugreek is a good Ayurvedic ingredient that, if we can incorporate more of that at every stage of the wash process, it could be really, really good. So, for those of you who are hopping on, we've been talking about the main things that, kind of like cutting to the chase, what's going to help you get longer, find natural hair faster. And we kind of went through these main four pieces, which was one, embrace frizz when you're styling. Two, you want to definitely get that blunt cut. Three, close on the heels of that, getting regular trims. And then four, wearing low manipulation protective styles. Now, of course, just like all the other lives, this live is going to be available right here on Find Natural Hair Rocks forever, permanently. I see that there is a replay gang that likes to check out these lives. So, of course, they're going to be available for replay gang. And yeah, Curlfriend, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter list yet, go ahead and sign up. It's in the description box. All the information, new information updates, definitely going to have some prizes and, contests up in there. If you don't want to miss out, then you definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you're on that newsletter list for when those things become available. Naturally me. Mini twists are my go-to. My hair is for a thin and fine. They work for me. I only detangle once a month with DIY rosemary oil on wash days. Retwist once a week. Fantastic regimen. You have 4A hair, you're thin and it's fine, right? It's really important. I love the fact that you mentioned that you're not detangling a ton and that you are already using like an oil that works well for you, that improves the slip, all those kinds of things. Yeah, like even the styling thing, like, when I first went natural, I was trying to retain length by recreating certain styles that I saw on the internet. And all of that manipulation, new styles here, new styles there, it wasn't really working for me. What really did work for me, I think, was like just cornrowing it, throwing it under a half wig and calling it a day. Now, I know so many of our girlfriends, we don't like half wigs, we don't like wigs because we tend to feel like they might look wiggy. How I got away from that was by trying to find textures that were as close to my texture as possible. The other thing that I didn't really mess with was like the lace front wigs because, my edges are important. I think your edges are important to you too. So I didn't really mess too much with that. But I definitely did take advantage of those half wigs. And I still take advantage of those half wigs to this day because oftentimes when I think about, a style on my real hair that's going to be manipulation versus styling a wig, I'd rather manipulate the wig, add heat to it, add color to it, whatever, than do all those things with my real natural hair. Hey TJ, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thank you so much for being a part of the Curlfriend crew. Of course, I was just mentioning earlier that this video is available for anyone who might have missed the beginning of it. I did share some special updates. So if you're interested in knowing what those special updates are, then you definitely want to check it out. Nadoon says rosemary is a favorite. It's interesting. I never really got into the rosemary thing. Like I had a coconut oil, I guess, stage. I also had olive oil stage very briefly though. Olive oil never really did it for me. But coconut oil was a huge one, and lately I've been using the Mayel, that oil that went viral. I've been using that a lot more lately as well too. But I never really got into rosemary. So, girlfriends, for those of you who are using rosemary oil, are you using it by itself? Or are you like mixing it with something? Because like I think it's a carrier oil, right? Or is it a base oil? You let me know. But carrier oils, either it's a carrier oil or it's a I think there's another word for it where like you can't apply the oil directly to your scalp because it's just too potent. Let me know how you're using it though. Sarah Eureka, how often do you think we should take a break from wigs? That is a fantastic question. It really is. So, when it comes to the wigs, I feel like if you're wearing the wigs every single day, definitely don't sleep in it. I never sleep in wigs. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there was a point when I was in my early 20s and like, I was sleeping in my wigs and trying to be cute, but I don't really do that anymore. I think that you should take a break from your wigs maybe like once every like maybe adhere to the same protective style thing. So like every 4 to 6 weeks, maybe just give your hair a break. Wear your real hair for the week. Let it sit, because if you're wearing the wigs too much, any style too much for that matter, you will start to see breakage in the areas that have the most amount of manipulation. Even twisting. Like if you're always twisting in the same spots, at some point, you're going to start to see the effects of always parting in the same place, always doing the same things to those ends. Like we just have to switch it up. That's just the nature of the beast. So I would say like, yeah, 4 to 6 weeks. I take again, like I said, I take my wigs off every single night, but the corners underneath remain, right? There's not much to do by way of blending because again, those wigs are very similar to my own natural hair texture. And then on top of it, they're also half wigs. So if I really don't have time in the morning, I'm literally slapping a wig, gelling up the front, and then putting like a cute headband on it, and I just keep it moving. It's like I just don't have the time, right? There's no time. Um, Essential oils. Thank you, Nadoom. Y'all are coming through for me today. Essential oils are diluted in carrier oil. Yes. So I guess I was wondering like if the that rosemary oil is a carrier oil or an essential oil, because if it's an essential oil, then it absolutely can't be placed on the scalp by itself. I think the same applies for like peppermint oil is definitely an essential oil. But if it is a carrier oil, then it can. So yeah. Drink soy milk 007. What are your favorite textured wig companies? That is a great, great question. So, my favorite of the moment is Kinky Curly Yaki. I actually really, really love that wig. It actually looks very much like type 4 natural hair. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to that in the chat, but very, very pretty wig. They've got really nice textures. Back in the day, I was using Big Chop Hair. Big Chop Hair is still around, I think. I think they're like based in Queens, New York. Another black owned company. Both of them are black owned. That's very big to me. Placing black dollars back into black companies, it means a lot to me because that's how we keep our economy going. That's how we keep economy growing. And it's very, very important. So I'm always happy to purchase those hair types from various different usually black women owned companies. Another one from Toronto, right here in Toronto. Her name is Tony Daly. Tony Daly has some really good, well priced natural hair wigs. Like they're so pretty. But they're not human hair, they're synthetic. So the thing like about that is that if you're still getting used to like making the switch from like straighter styles over to like more Afrocentric styles, big curly, you know what I mean, right? It's really a good idea to check out Tony Daly because Tony Daly has those wigs like and they're synthetic. Really, really nice stuff. Patricia Jenkins, I'm still listening but still at work. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. That really means the world to me. I'm really happy that you're finding value in this, Patricia, and the rest of our girlfriends here. Because yeah, like I say before, and I'll always keep saying it, I'm only trying to create the value, make videos that are actually going to help you. Nadoom, rosemary is an essential oil. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All on the same page here. Patricia, SPSR 076. Hi, sorry, I'm late. No worries, no worries. Anybody who's popping in, this video is going to be available for you to watch well after the fact. And yeah, it's going to be here. So, curl friends, we've been kind of hanging, kicking it for the last half an hour or so. I actually have to run, but I wanted to stay a bit longer because the last couple of times that we've connected, I've had to kind of like hop out and go. Today, I managed to get to the gym early. So that was good, which allows me to be able to stay here longer. There is going to be a new upload tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to be giving a more fulsome review, or rather update, about what's happening with Fine Natural Hair Rocks Inc. I love how that sounds. Like, oh, Fine Natural Hair Rocks Incorporated. Can we just take a one time for that? Anywho, yes, I'm gonna be updating you on that process, what it took, and like just like more details about it. Because again, like this natural hair care company was requested by you. It's for you. It's by one of us. Like this is for us, right? So I'm definitely walking you along the way. Every step of this journey, right? So there's coming through. And then of course, Monday, we're gonna be having our Monday upload. Girlfriend, if you know anybody who has fragile natural hair, maybe that person is struggling with their hair care journey. These tips, tricks, they work for everybody. Like they definitely are catered to people with fine and fragile natural hair. But even for those who have thicker strands, it applies to those individuals because the more you baby your strands, the more you care for your strands, it's going to grow. Like this is the baseline. You've got the most fragile hair possible and you're trying to get it to do things that, you've never seen it been done before. It will absolutely benefit those naturals who have maybe denser strands that can handle a little bit more, right? Patricia says 076, loving the thumbnail. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Florizella, congratulations. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the love. I am feeling it. I definitely am. Naturally me, fresh rosemary leaves infused in olive oil in a double broiler. I let it sit a week before I use it. I use peppermint oil to cleanse my scalp when I retwist once a week to keep my scalp clean. Ooh, okay. So you're using the essential oil of rosemary with the carrier oil of olive oil. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I like that. I'm gonna definitely look into that. And naturally me, what does that do for you? Like what do you find the benefits of that to be? Like is it more so for like slip? Is it for like internal strength and like shine? Like what benefits do you find that that's giving to you? Mahamza, looking forward to the detailed to update tomorrow. I can't speak. So excited. Yes, yes. High fives, high fives. Absolutely. I am really excited. I'm going to try and drop that video early. It's been kind of hard to get videos out earlier lately, but this is the long weekend, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to drop it as early as possible for you. So, yeah. PSR 076, congrats and looking forward to what products you created. Thank you. Yes, yes. So the products, they're not available yet, still in research mode, still in formulation mode. But the exciting part about it is that it is Black owned, of course. Well, obviously I'm Black. And I'm Canadian, so it's Canadian owned as well, for the Canadians, but it's going to be available for our Americans. And I'm working hard to make sure that I can have it available for globally as well. Because one thing that I keep on hearing is that, a lot of girlfriends who are in the UK, some girlfriends are in the West Indies, and they don't have access to really proper natural hair care, like the actually formulated stuff. Like they have to maybe lean into DIYs instead. And a lot of people don't necessarily want to DIY, right? So just trying to make that work for us. Naturally Me says, awesome, congratulations. Thank you. So, Curlfriend, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight on your Friday evening, your long weekend Friday evening. I hope you get up to some mad fun. I really hope that, maybe if partying is your thing, get out there and party. I hope that if, hanging out and just watching a movie is your thing, you're going to get out there and just watch a movie and relax because you deserve it. You work hard, you're beautiful inside and out, and you deserve all the good things in life, Curlfriend, everything. So, this is our long weekend, the kickoff of the summertime. I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited for us. And I will be back tomorrow with that update, that fulsome update about what's happening with Fine Natural Hair Rocks Incorporated. I love you so much. I absolutely do. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And thank you, Nadoom. I see you. I see you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.